In this demonstration, we're going to start building the account dimension. Now we're going to be doing this in several stages so that we can see how different properties for our parent-child hierarchy will change the aggregation behavior. Before we start building the dimension in Analysis Services, let's first review the table contents in the data source view for our dim account table, which has been renamed to just account here. So we'll right-click on the table and select Explore Data. And we can see that we have an account key here that's the primary key in the table, and we have a parent account key here that's the foreign key column that we use to create a relationship between accounts. It's actually a hierarchical relationship. So for example, here we have trade receivables, and we have other receivables. They both have the parent key number 5 here, which would be the receivables account. And then receivables and cash both have parent key 3, which is the current assets, which is also the parent for things like allowance for bad debt and finished goods and inventory and so forth. We can see these relationships much more clearly when we build the dimensions, so let's do that. We'll use the dimension wizard, and it is an existing table called account, and the key column is account key. The name column is account description. We'll rename the key attribute as account and the parent attribute as accounts. We can also change the attribute type here now. So for example, account would be something like account name, and accounts, the parent account key, would be chart of accounts. Or we can change it using the Business Intelligence Wizard, which I'll show you in another demonstration later. For now, let's just add account type, and that's it. And we'll deploy this so that we can browse this dimension. So now let's browse, and notice that the account attribute is not visible because of the parent-child hierarchy that Analysis Services detects. So we have the all level, and we expand this and we can see our top level account types: balance sheet, net income, and statistical accounts. Balance sheet is where we have assets and liabilities, but notice that we have an extra balance sheet, so we'll need to clean that up. And then for net income, we have duplicate of net income and operating profit and so forth. We've got statistical accounts where you can see the individual accounts here, as well as a duplicate of statistical accounts. So to clean up the extra members, we need to change one of the properties on our dimension here. This is on the parent-child hierarchy attribute. This property that we're going to fix is the members with data property, which was introduced in the Analysis Services Fundamentals course. So if we go over here and locate that member, it would be under the members with data. Right now it says non-leaf data visible, so it is basically repeating the parent as a sibling of the parent's children, and we're going to say no, we don't want to do that. We'll change this setting to non-leaf data hidden. Now if we redeploy, we will be able to do a quick update to our dimension here, and as soon as that's ready, we'll go to the browser, click reconnect, and now we see that balance sheet only appears at the top level. It does not appear again as a child for itself. The same with net income and with statistical accounts. So to see how this works, we need to create a cube and look at our dimension in the context of a measure. So we'll add in a new cube. We'll use existing tables based on the finance measure group. that we've already added to the data source view, and we have a single measure there called amount. And we'll go ahead and add in all of our existing dimensions. We'll call this the finance cube. And then we'll set a property here for the format string. And then let's deploy this. And now we can browse the cube. So we'll bring in our single measure here, and we'll bring in the accounts type and the accounts dimension, and we'll look at things by calendar, and we'll just filter this to a particular year so that we can drill down and see the quarters here. We'll make some space. And notice that what we have is balance sheet accounts where we have assets and liabilities equal each other. That's fine. But what's happening is that the grand total is accumulating. Quarter 1 to quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4 is adding these things up over time, which is incorrect for balance sheet accounts. Whereas for our net income accounts, adding in the quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4 to come up with a total for the year is correct. We're also going to see with statistical accounts that these amounts that are also point-in-time values are accumulating through the year, which is another thing that we need to fix. So balance sheet and statistical accounts should not aggregate at the end of the year for each given quarter. We'll need to fix that.